farming has two businesses. One is you're rearing for slaughter and rearing for breeding. Yeah, so breeding means having high quality genes, and slaughter doesn't mind about whichever quality you have, they can slaughter it. But it also affects you in one way, because if you are rearing and you don't mind about time, because you know when we look at the genes, we are looking at time. What time do you take to reach at what mass? Yeah, so basically for me, I don't sell for slaughter. That's the difference. I'm selling for only breeding, strictly.
And when did you start this farm?
This farm is 3 years old.
Really?
Yes, it's
This is
3 years
so
old.
big, you can't think it's 3 years.
Yeah, because I'm devoted, and this is like some of you people, some of other people, the way they have their jobs and they don't want somebody to play with it. So this is my job.
You take it serious.
Yeah.
Why did you decide to leave employment and do farming?
Of course, money. What we are looking at is money.
Right.
You always run for the greener pastures. So where I was working, they were paying me, of course, around 2 million. Because me, I'm a vet, I was working in Zimbabwe there, also in a goat project. But the people I was dealing with, most of them, they were illiterate. But they challenged me because somebody who can't write his name can rear up to 700 goats.
Right.
And you, the so-called Musao, you cannot even manage to have 100 goats. So for the farmers, for those farmers, they were able to maybe raise over 100 millions, of which me to raise 100 millions, it was very hard to add the 2 million still when I make 100 millions. It was almost impossible. So when I looked at them accumulating animals, and of which it was me who was treating those animals, and me myself, I didn't have 100 animals, I said, now, if I compare the 100 animals with my salary, a person with 100 goats was making up to 50 millions in 2 years, of which me, I couldn't even have half of that money. So I resorted to come and start my farm and also become a farmer. My farm actually is a full company. It can do consultation, like maybe setting up of the farms, managing of the farms, pastures, making of the feeds, setting up of cattle feedlots, but it's all about farming. So that's what we basically do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you also offer consultations?
Yeah, we do offer consultations and even training of the managers, because I saw it as a challenge that most of the farmers that do have the farms, they have people on farms which don't have the skills. So what we do here, we do practical skills. Yeah, you bring your manager, we skill him at least for a month or 2 months or 1 week, so that he can have hands-on, even if he's not educated, but as well he can see that an animal is diuretic and which kind of drug can I give it. Yeah, so that's what we basically
that's nice. Now, when I came to your farm, I saw goats. I don't think I've ever seen them in my life. Could you tell us the breeds that you breed on this farm?
Yeah, on this farm we do have savannas. I think you saw the white
nice.
goats.
Yeah.
Those are fully white.
Yeah.
Those are savannas. The advantages of those savannas, their growth rate. A goat can grow up to 600 grams per day.
I saw that.
Yeah. We even weighed it. Today actually we weighed an animal.
Yeah.
It was born yesterday. We weighed it. It had 3 kilos. So that means that animal was born with 2.9 kilos almost. We weighed an animal, a big one, and it was 120 kgs live weight. So the breed that we have here, they have growth rate, high growth rate, and high maturity weight. As compared to our locals, the locals we have, they cannot even attain, let's say, 10 grams per day or 20 grams, of which you have to actually to know how many grams does my animals put on at least every day. You get it? Yeah, so the savannas have a high growth rate. They have high maturity weight because the male can weigh up to 120 kgs. And the female can weigh up to 80 kgs live weight, of which even our locals, there is no any male that can go beyond 80 kilos. the local Mubende and these other Chigezi.
Yeah.
Even the females go up to 40 or 50 kilos.
Right.
But that is after like 6 years.
Right.
So that's the difference. So that is a savannah. It is typically white with long horns, very sharp nose,
Yeah.
very big heads, long and the height.
Okay.
We also have the boas. The boas have a brown head and a white body. They have the same characteristics as in the growth rate. They can as well put on 600 grams and above per day.
Okay.
So we have those boas. They also have good growth rates, good maturity weight. Yeah. So we also have Kalahari. It's also another breed, brown. It's for it. It's whole brown of the body. Its color is brown.
Okay.
It also has very good growth rates and the maturity weight. What we are looking at in this farm is the growth rate and the maturity weight. You need to know the time you spend to make dollars, because we don't have time to waste doing a farming. You know, like your age, you cannot rear an animal for 6 years and they are paying you 120,000 or 150,000.
Exactly.
You get it. So you need an animal that you can sell at least 6 months and you sell it 200,000. That makes money for you. So that's why we go for those hybrids. Though I have some locals for some people to learn and get the difference. That if this is a local, what does it attain and what is the difference between a local and the hybrid?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's nice. Now, can you estimate if someone wants to start a goat farm, how much money would they need?
Like in this business, let me say, it's a business that can be started with even a poor person who can only afford to have 500,000.
Really?
Because 500,000 can buy a goat. And if you buy one goat, that means you have started. You get it? But an ideal number would be at least somebody starting with over 50 or 100.
Million?
No, 100 goats.
Okay.
Yeah, if you start with 50 goats, that's 25 millions. If you start with 100, that's 50 millions. But as well, you better start small, but if you have started, because you keep on adding. You might not be able to get 25 millions at a go, but you can get some small money, like 1 million. If you get like 1 million or 500, you buy one goat. But that's the beginning. So this helps us, this project helps we, the youth, and even other people to accumulate or to gather their money. Because we might be getting money in small quantities, but how do you compile it such that that money can grow? Is by buying an animal by an animal, slowly by slowly. You buy one, and then you add up to make 10. So by the time you even finish the 10 animals, if you started with one, that means you the first animal you bought should have as well produced. So that's how it can. So basically, I cannot say that you can start with this money. As long as you can afford to buy an animal, then you can start the project. What these animals are feeding on, actually I want you to know this, that even if you don't have a bigger land, you can feed the animals. I use leftovers of sugarcane, what we call the sugar tops or the cane tops. We gather them. You see, many people are now doing sugarcane here in the country, and they are crying they don't have where to sell it. So me, what I do, the leftovers they leave is the one I collect, crush it, like in the machine, and then I feed it to my animal. I do what they call silage. Those are silos. After chopping it, we put it on the ground, we compact it. Then after compacting, we put molasses. Molasses is also a leftover of sugarcane, of making sugar. When they're making sugar, there is a leftover called molasses. So it's the one that you put on. Then you cover. You can leave your feed there for years. So you just pick and give to the animals. You just pick and give to the animals. So that's what I'm feeding them on. Then some other thing, I also plant grasses. Like I have a smaller land. I'm a youth, I'm 34 years.
Very young.
So I'm getting out of youth, I think, very soon. So I cannot afford to have maybe a square mile or 500 acres to have a bigger number of animals. So I have to utilize what I have or what I can afford, such that I can gain to have many animals as compared to my land. So I also plant grasses. I plant chloris. The grass is called Chloris Guyana. Then we cut it and we wilt it for a day. We bale it. Baling means to compact it in one box. then you tie it and you store it. So you can store it for many years, but still stays with the nutritional value. So you get it, you feed it to the animals directly, or you get it, you crush it, you put molasses, and then you give it to the animals. If you give it to the animals directly, they will eat it. But of course, there will be a lot of leftovers. They will only pick the leaves and it leaves you with straws. Yet me, who wants to maximize everything, I want them to eat everything. Because everything has the nutritional values. So what I do, I crush it, I put molasses, I give it to them, they eat everything. So I also add in the salts, that is the mineral blocks, the brown and white. That has a lot of vitamins, a lot of nutrients, which they cannot even get from the grasses. So those people who are feeding their animals on these normal salts, they are feeding them on more of sodium, of which animals need more other ingredients. So I think in this normal salt we have zinc and iron and sodium. But in these other mineral blocks, it is compacted with many minerals, of which that's what an animal needs. So actually that's what I feed them on. Then two, some of the general activities that we do every day, every week. Every week we do spraying.
Why is that?
We are preventing ticks because of the tick-borne diseases. So they can cause a lot of loss to the animals. So what we do, we spray them with acaricides. Like right now I'm using milbitraz, but anytime I can change some other acaricide. So we spray every week. We deworm after 3 months. But as per now, I'm using I+. Then after a week, I also use Liver Fast Diamond. So that we do it after 3 months. So we vaccinate, in a year, I vaccinate 7 diseases. And I vaccinate CCPP, there is PPR, there is Clostridios, there is Brucella melitensis, there is pox. Those are some of the diseases that I vaccinate. So the moment you do all that, you're good to go.
Right. Okay. Now, any challenges you face on your goat farm?
The challenges, one is market. Market is too much.
The demand is so high.
Yes.
Wow.
So the demand is so high. The market is too much everywhere. I cannot supply it because now some people come and they want animals to slaughter, of which I can't put my animal for slaughter. Yet even the country needs those animals for breeding. So the challenge is they bring me money on my table to supply them animals for slaughter, and of which I cannot. So that is a challenge. That means I have to produce more other animals, many animals, so that I can supply for slaughter and even for breeding. So that's one of my challenges. Okay.
I wonder, why are more people coming into goat farming? Why is goat farming better than... I can't say better. Why is it that most people are going for goat farming?
These are the possible reasons, or these are the reasons. First and foremost, people are doing many projects. And people have been doing goat farming in Uganda for quite some time. And people have benefited in goat farming for many years. You get it? But they have not sustained the project. Reason being, they reserved information for themselves. Right. They stayed with it. They did not teach other people how to do it. That means other people have been entering in that project and they have been collapsing. Right. You get it? Yeah. But as per now, I've opened up and I'm teaching people for free because there is no way we can give information to people when we are collecting money from them. Me, if you're giving me 50,000 as an entry on my farm, it doesn't help me more like if you are taking the knowledge from me and do the same. Where do I benefit if you take knowledge from me and you go and start? When you start a farm, I also start a farm because many people have been doing that. You get it? But on a small scale. And those big contracts have really failed them because they don't have where to get the animals. But when you take the information, you go and breed the animals. You're accumulating, other people are accumulating. So that means if we get a contract to supply some animals, I have where to get them. Right. So as by now, why people are now entering this project is because it's a simple project as compared to other projects. Why? You can start it slowly on your pace. Two, it can be started by a poor person like me, even other people. You get it? Because it is an installment project. It's not like if you start with 5 birds, they might not even sell it to you from Yugachik, because 5 birds will attend to you. But buying 5 goats, it is good. It is easy. You know it. So that's why people are going into it. It is a business that doesn't need to eat from your pocket every day.
Lovely.
You get it?
Get
it is a project that feeds on nature, of which birds, piggery, they are really feeding on your in your pocket. You get it? Every day you have to buy feeds for them.
Yeah.
Of which in goats here, we are not buying feeds for them every day. So that's why people are now turning to understand it. Then some other project that is also feeding on grass, they are cows. But you know, me and you, we cannot afford to buy over 300 cows to start. Because buying 300 cows, that is over 900 millions. Where can you get 900 millions on your age?
Right.
But now, starting with goats, having 300 goats, you can start slowly. You buy 2, you buy 3 on your 500 or 300 or 200. Then you accumulate. That's why people are now going into it. Yeah.
Okay, this is really, really, really nice.
Yes.
Now, any future plans for your farm?
The future plan, it's too big. Because as per now, I'm building cottages. I think you saw them.
Yeah.
And what I want to do what they call agrotourism. In that case, I'll be slaughtering my goats. You get? Those that are not really so good, I will fatten them, put them on the feedlot, then slaughter them. Do you know how much I will be getting?
How much?
You know, in some places, a kilo of goat's meat, you eat it. Let me say you go to Serena. You might eat a kilo at maybe 100,000.
Right.
In Gayaza Road, you're eating a kilo at maybe 48,000 or 50,000 or 60. Because each piece goes for 4,000 or 5,000.
Right.
So those 3 pieces they sell at 5,000 makes a quarter. So that means you're eating a quarter at 15,000.
Wow.
So a kilo, you can guess where you're getting that.
They're doing the math.
So me, what I want to do, like on my farm here, the cottages I have, I'm going to plant a very good garden. I'll put horses.
Ooh.
People who don't know how to ride, they will be taught how to ride.
Right.
So instead of somebody going to Mwea, he will be coming to my farm. You learn something that you can do as well enjoying the place. You go in a place which doesn't have a lot of noise. It has peace. You learn how to rear goats and cows. Then finally, you eat what you want.
Exactly.
So instead of going to Mwea to see let's say a leopard, you get scared. You're benefiting almost nothing as a person who have come to my farm to learn about farming as well enjoying the tour. So that's what I want to do. I'm going to put up those cottages. Then I'll be slaughtering goats. When you come to my farm and you're paying $100 per night per house, you get? I slaughter for you goat. You're eating a kilo of goat's meat at actually quarter at 10,000.
Wow.
So that means a kilo will be at 40,000. So if my goat is weighing up to 40 kilos live weights, and the carcass I get over 20 kilos, that means if I'm slaughtering 1 goat, I'll be getting 800,000 from 1 goat of 6 months.
Wow.
So if I give, let's say 200 to my workers, I'll be staying with 600. And if I slaughter 1 goat per day, a month I'll be getting 18 millions. Wow. So I'll be clocking to a director of a certain organization. Then too, also part of extension, I'm also doing a goat roasting point in Kayunga. And it's the same idea. I want to be slaughtering 1 goat, but the whole town cannot eat 1 goat.
Right.
So that means if they're eating 2 goats a day, that is 18 millions times 2 per month. And that will really employ many other young youth. It will make dollars for me as I'm also developing my farm. And some other thing with my company or with my farm, I want to create more other farmers. And our target is at least having 20 million hybrid goats in Uganda.
Wow.
If we have that kind of number, we can be able to supply any contract that can be taking over 2,000 goats plus. So my target, or the family's target, is to expand more other Hamiisi all over the country, so that we have a big number of animals.
Right.
I'm tired of being challenged, somebody coming with dollars and is telling me wants 10 tons per week. Then we are in the Pearl of Africa, and we cannot supply that.
Right.
We have the grass, we are burning it. We have a lot of leftovers, let's say sugar tops, soya bean leftovers. Those are all feeds that we can convert into muscles. So my target will be that, creating more other Hamiisis all over the country. Those will be having over 5,000, because my dream here is to have 5,000 goats on a farm.
Well said, Mr. Hamiisi.
Yes.
I feel motivated. I hope someone out there is also motivated.
Yes.
Now, can you give us your contact information?
YouTube, I think I'll start with YouTube.
Yeah, please. He also
YouTube,
has a YouTube channel. So make sure you
YouTube channel, you put in Hamiisi, Semanda, goat farming, you'll definitely have my videos. Then Facebook, you have Ham Animal Breeding Farm. Then my telephone number, it's
on your...
it's a plus 256 773 34 32 83.